wind the thing up and let it go. They'd run the whole slate that way. 8, 10, a dozen races. Then they'd go to the track and bet on the horses that won at home. Did it work? Keaton asked. His voice seemed to be coming to him from some other place, a far place. He seemed to be floating in Leland Gaunt's eyes, floating on red foam. The sensation was queer, but really quite pleasant. It seemed to, Gaunt said, probably just silly superstition, but would you like to buy this toy and try it for yourself? Yes, Keaton said. You're a man who needs a winning ticket quite badly, aren't you, Danforth? I need more than one. I need a whole slew of them. How much? Leland Gaunt laughed. Oh, no. You don't get me that way. Not when I'm already in your debt. I'll tell you what. Open your wallet and give me the first bill you find in there. I'm sure it will be the right one. So Keaton opened his wallet and drew out a bill without looking away from Gaunt's face. And of course it was a 2, the kind of bill which had gotten him into all this trouble in the first place. Gaunt made it disappear as neatly as a magician doing a trick and said, "There is one more thing." What? Gaunt leaned forward. He looked at Keaton earnestly and touched him on the knee. Mr. Keaton, do you know about them? Keaton's breath caught, the way the breath of a sleeper will sometimes catch when he finds himself in the throes of a bad dream. Yes, he whispered. God, yes. This town is full of them, Gaunt went on in the same low, confidential tone. Absolutely infested. I've been open less than a week and I know it already. I think they may be after me. In fact, I'm quite sure of it. I may need your help. Yes, Keaton said. He spoke more strongly now. By God, you'll have all the help you need. Now, you just met me, and you don't owe me a damn thing. Keaton, who felt already that Gaunt was the closest friend he had made in the last 10 years, opened his mouth to protest. Gaunt held up his hand, and the protest ceased at once. And you don't have the slightest idea if I've sold you something which will really work or just another bag of dreams. The kind that turn into nightmares when you give them a poke and a whistle. I'm sure you believe all this now. I have a great gift of persuasion, if I do say so myself. But I believe in satisfied customers, Mr. Keaton, and only satisfied customers. I've been in business for many years, and I built my reputation on satisfied customers. So take the toy. If it works for you, fine. If it doesn't, give it to the Salvation Army or throw it in the town dump. What are you out? Couple of bucks? Couple of bucks, Keaton agreed dreamily. But if it does work, and if you can clear your mind of these ephemeral financial worries, come back and see me. We'll sit down and have coffee, just as we have this morning, and talk about them. It's gone too far to just put the money back, Keaton said in the clear but disconnected tones of one who talks in his sleep. There are more tracks than I can brush away in 5 days. A lot can change in 5 days, Mr. Gaunt said thoughtfully. He rose to his feet, moving with sinuous grace. You've got a big day ahead of you, and so do I. But them, Keaton protested. What about them? Gaunt placed one of his long, chilly hands on Keaton's arm, and even in his dazed state, Keaton felt his stomach curl up on itself at that touch. We'll deal with them later, he said. Don't you worry about a thing. John, Alan called as John LaPointe slipped into the sheriff's office by the alley door. Good to see you. It was 10:30 on Saturday morning, and the Castle Rock Sheriff's Office was as deserted as it ever got. Norris was out fishing somewhere, and Seton Thomas was down in Sanford visiting his 2 old maid sisters. Sheila Brigham was at the Our Lady of Serene Waters Rectory, helping her brother draft another letter to the paper explaining the essentially harmless nature of casino night. Father Brigham also wanted the letter to express his belief that William Rose was as crazy as a cootie bug in a shit heap. One could not come right out and say such a thing, of course, not in a family newspaper, but Father John and Sister Sheila were doing the best they could to get the point across. Andy Clutterbuck was on duty somewhere, or so Alan assumed. He hadn't called in since Alan arrived at the office an hour ago. Until John showed up, the only other person in the municipal building seemed to be Eddie Warburton, who was fussing with the water cooler in the corner. What's up, Doc? John asked, sitting on the corner of Alan's desk. On Saturday morning? Not much, but what's this? Alan unbuttoned the right cuff of his khaki shirt and pushed the sleeve up. Please notice that my hand never leaves my wrist. Uh-huh, John said. He pulled a stick of juicy fruit out of his pants pocket, peeled off the wrapper, and stuck it in his mouth. Alan showed his open right palm, flipped his hand to display the back, then closed the hand into a fist. He reached into it with his left index finger and pulled out a tiny ear of silk. He waggled his eyebrows at John. Not bad, huh? If that's Sheila's scarf, she's going to be unhappy to find it all wrinkled up and smelling of your sweat, John said. He seemed less than poleaxed with wonder. Not my fault she left it on her desk, Alan replied.